So I've been looking at a bunch of major leaguers and trying to figure out the varying degrees to which guys do this. When I looked up Utley, I came across Carlos Santana from the Indians, who has a lot of pop, and his freaking hip leads like a mother. Utley's more similar to you, except I still think he's cooking this a little bit more than you are. So there's this right there. He's got this degree to which his hips are getting out in front a little bit. Get that front hip. And that line sucks, but you get the idea, okay? He's got that front hip out. And for you, this is you at foot strike, this picture right here. And I still feel like you're just a little bit too stacked. Everything's just a little stacked. And if you can get that, if you can see that he's turned in a little bit here too. His lower half is turned in. I mean, these hips right here, these are facing closer to the catcher than they are towards the plate. Okay, he's got a little bit of turn, negative turn, internal rotation, whatever the hell you want to call that, towards the catcher. And I feel like if you get a little bit of inward rotation, or I don't want you to think about that way, because then you're going to like spin your body and do all sorts of weird shit. I really just want you to think about turning that front hip, or showing your. I used to say this about pitchers, showing the hitter your back pocket. If you can show that pitcher your back pocket on your right side, I feel like that'll give you just a little bit of extra torque and let your lower half ride a little bit more. I mean, you can see Utley is like just not hyper aggressive with that. It's not an explosive swing. Now he had good pop, there's no doubt about it, and I think for him it's the strength of what he's doing with his hands. But the game has changed a little bit since Utley started in the league. It's more of a power game. It's more of a power game in terms of the pitchers. And I feel like just creating a little bit more torque and a little bit more explosiveness out of your lower half will make a big difference. Utley kind of grew into his power, and he had some good power years, but I don't know if anyone would refer to him as a power hitter. Now, if you look at Utley, there are a lot of other things. We'll do Utley's swing basically, beginning to end, straight through, in slow motion. So the pickup and the hands and all that sort of stuff, that front foot, there's a lot of similarities between the way that you and him do stuff, because there's a lot of simplicity to yours as well. He's hands and feet at the same time. I just feel like there's a little bit more. You want to allow yourself to become a little bit more explosive by throwing that front hip, that back pocket at the pitcher a little bit. You don't have to cook it the way that Harper and Puig do. I mean, those guys are like throwing that shit around like it's crazy. But I think that'll give you just a little bit more on your ball, and putting up some decent power numbers would be pretty good for you. So, not at the expense of making contact, but certainly there's a way to balance those things out, and certainly getting a little bit more of your lower half involved would be positive.